Hello everyone. Today we will discuss spinal cord. Spinal cord. So the spinal cord is present in vertebral canal of vertebral column. Spinal cord is presenting on the. It is present in. It is present in vertebral canal. Vertebral canal of vertebral column. Vertebral canal of the vertebral column. So the spinal cord. So the spinal cord is presenting on the vertebral canal of vertebral column. So they are the vertebral column. So this vertebral column presenting on the vertebral canal. So that canal is presenting on the spinal cord. So it is presenting on the vertebral canal of the vertebral column. Next one, it is protected by. It is protected by. It is protected by vertebral arches. Vertebral arches and spinal meninges. Spinal meninges. Spinal meninges. So it is protection by the vertebral arches. So these are the vertebral arches. So these are the vertebral arches are the protection of spinal cord. So they are the vertebral arches and the spinal meninges are the protection of spinal cord. So the vertebral arches are the thoracic vertebral arches, lumbar, sacral, coccygeal. So they are the vertebral arches. So they are protection of the spinal cord, protection of the spinal cord and protection of spinal meninges like brain meninges. So they are brain containing meninges, that is called the brain meninges. So there are the spinal cord containing meninges, that meninges is called as spinal meninges. The meninges is called as spinal meninges. So the spinal meninges are the three. So they are the outer dura mater, middle arachnoid mater, third one inner pia mater. Inner pia mater. So they are the DAP. DAP means dura mater, arachnoid mater and pia mater. Dura mater, arachnoid mater and pia mater. So these three meninges, the protection of brain. So the first protection from the vertebral arches. First protection of spinal cord is vertebral arches. So the below the vertebral arches they contain a membranes. That membranes is called as meninges. So these spinal meninges protection of spinal cord. So these spinal meninges are the three layers: outer dura mater, middle arachnoid mater and inner pia mater. Dura mater, arachnoid mater and pia mater. So they are the protection membranes. Next one, it extend. It means a spinal cord. It extends from medulla oblongata to superior region of the second lumbar vertebrae. Superior region of second lumbar vertebrae. Second lumbar vertebra. Second lumbar vertebrae. So it is extend between the medulla oblongata to second lumbar vertebrae. So it is presenting on the, it is extend between the medulla oblongata. So they are the medulla oblongata. So they are starting from the medulla oblongata to ending from the second lumbar vertebra, ending from the second lumbar vertebra. So they are the starting from the medulla oblongata, ending from the second lumbar vertebra. Next one, so the spinal cord contain two enlargements. The spinal cord contain two enlargement. contain two enlargement. The spinal cord containing a two enlargement. So the one enlargement is the cervical enlargement. So they are the spinal cord. So they are the small enlargement process. So these are called as cervical enlargement. So another one enlargement is called as lumbar enlargement. So the spinal cord contain a two enlargement. The spinal cord contain a two enlargement. So they are the one enlargement. So they are the another enlargement. So this enlargement is called as cervical enlargement. One is the cervical enlargement. Cervical enlargement. Cervical enlargement. Second one is the lumbar enlargement. Second one, lumbar enlargement. Lumbar enlargement. Cervical enlargement and lumbar enlargement. The spinal cord contain two enlargement. One is the cervical enlargement, another one is the lumbar enlargement. Cervical enlargement and lumbar enlargement. Next one, below the lumbar enlargement. Below the lumbar enlargement contain a conical portion. Below the posterior side of the posterior side of the lumbar enlargement. Lumbar enlargement. This looks like a conical shape. Below the posterior side of the lumbar enlargement contain a conical shape. Conical shape. It is called as conus medullaris. 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 So they are the lumbar enlargement. So that lumbar enlargement, posterior side of the lumbar enlargement contain a conical like structures, conical shape structure. So this conical shape structure is called as conus medullaris. So this conical shape structure is called as conus medullaris. Next one, so the ending region of the below the lumbar enlargement. Below the lumbar enlargement means coccygeal region contain a non-nervous part. Coccygeal region contain non-nervous part. Non-nervous part is called as phylum terminale. Is called as phylum terminale. Phylum terminale. It's called as phylum terminale. So these are the coccygeal region. So in this below the lumbar enlargement, second lumbar enlargement, below the second lumbar enlargement, they contain a non-nervous part. This blue color line is a non-nervous part. So this part is called as phylum terminale. Phylum terminale. So they are the phylum terminale. Once revised. So the spinal cord. So the spinal cord is presenting from the spinal canal, vertebral canal of vertebral column. The spinal cord is presenting on the vertebral canal of vertebral column. So it is protection by the bony arches, vertebral arches. It is protection from the vertebral arches and spinal meninges vertebral arch and spinal meninges. So the vertebral arches the spinal meninges are the three types. Spinal meninges are the three types: dura mater, arachnoid mater, pia mater. Dura mater, arachnoid mater and pia mater. So these three spinal meninges protection from the spinal cord. Next one, the spinal cord is extension from the medulla oblongata, extension from the brain last part, the below part, the posterior part, medulla oblongata. So that medulla oblongata is continued to the spinal cord, This is ending from the second lumbar vertebra, second lumbar vertebra. So they are ending from the second lumbar vertebra. Next one, so the spinal cord contains two enlargement. The spinal cord contains two enlargement. One enlargement is called as cervical enlargement. So these are the one enlargement. So this enlargement is called as cervical enlargement. So the another one enlargement. So they are called as lumbar enlargement. Cervical enlargement, lumbar enlargement. Next one, so the posterior side of the lumbar enlargement, posterior side of the lumbar enlargement, they contain a conical shape, they contain a conical shape. So that shape is called as conus medullaris, that was called as conus medullaris. So the coccygeal region, below the lumbar region, they contain a non-nervous part, non-nervous part. So this part is called as phylum terminale. So these are called as phylum terminale, phylum terminale. Next one, internal structure of spinal cord. Next one, internal side of spinal cord. Next one, inner side of the spinal cord, they contain a grey color. Inner side of a spinal cord, it looks like a H shape or butterfly shape. Butterfly shape, grey matter is present. H shape or butterfly shape, grey matter is present. Grey matter is present. So the inner side of the spinal cord, they contain a H shape or butterfly shape of grey matter is present. So the grey matter is surrounded by the white matter. Grey matter is surrounded by white matter. Grey matter is surrounded by white matter. Grey matter is surrounded by the white matter. So these are the H shape. So they are called as grey matter. Red color lines are the grey matter. So this grey matter is surrounded by the white matter. Grey matter is surrounded by the white matter. Next one, the grey matter. The grey matter. So this spinal cord contain the spinal cord contains divided into left and right side. The spinal cord is divided into left and right sides. The spinal cord divided into left and right. Left and right through the one is the anterior funiculus. Anterior funiculus, one is the anterior funiculus. Anterior means a ventral. So there is the anterior funiculus. Another one is the posterior. Posterior median. Posterior median sulcus. So they are the anterior median, anterior median funiculus and posterior median sulcus, anterior median funiculus. Another one is the posterior median sulcus. So they are the spinal cord. So the spinal cord is divided into left and right parts. The spinal cord is divided into left and right parts through the one is the anterior median fissure. So they are the anterior median fissure. So they are the posterior median sulcus, anterior median fissure, anterior median fissure, anterior median fissure and so they are the anterior median fissure. So they are the posterior median fissure. So these two fissures, the spinal cord is divided into left and right parts. The spinal cord is divided into left and right parts through the one is the anterior median fissure and another one is the posterior median sulcus, anterior median fissure and posterior median sulcus. So these fissure and sulcus, the spinal cord is divided into two regions. Next one, the gray matter is surrounded by gray matter is surrounded by gray matter is surrounded. Gray matter is surrounded by the central canal, central canal. Gray matter is surrounded by central canal. So these are the central canal. So this central canal is surrounding the gray matter. So the gray matter is surrounded by the central canal. So the central inner side of the central canal contain a surrounded by the ependymal epithelium. The central canal is surrounded by the ependymal epithelium. Ependymal epithelium. So they are the central canal. For example, they are the central canal. So the inner side of the central canal, they are surrounded by the ependymal epithelium. So these are the central canal. So the central canal is surrounded by the ependymal epithelium. So the central canal is surrounded by the ependymal epithelium. Next one, the central canal is continued to the fourth ventricle of brain. So the brain contains 4 ventricles. So the fourth ventricle is continued to the central canal. Fourth ventricle is continued to the central canal. Next one, the gray matter is formed by cell bodies, dendrites, neuroglial cells and unmyelinated axons they formation of gray color. So the gray color part, these are the gray color part, these contain a cell bodies, dendrites, neuroglial cells and unmyelinated axons. So they are presenting, so they are the looks like a gray color. Next one, the gray color contain a 2 horns. Gray color contain a 2 horns. Gray color contain 2 horns. The gray color contain a 2 horns. One horn is a, so these are the ventral horn. So they are the ventral horns. So they are the dorsal horns. So the 2 pairs of horns presenting on the spinal cord. So they are the ventral horn and dorsal horn. One is the ventral horn, another one is the posterior. Ventral means a dorsal horn. So they are the spinal cord gray color contain a 2 horns. One is the ventral horn, another one is the dorsal horn. Ventral horn and dorsal horn. Next one, so the white color. So the white color part contain a myelinated axons. White color part contain bundles of myelinated axons. So the white matter. So these are the white matter parts. So they are the white matter part. So that part contain a bundles of myelinated axons. They contain a bundles of myelinated axons. Next one, the white color part contain a 4 features. The white color part contain a 4 funiculus. 4 white color part contain divide 4 funiculus. One is the posterior funiculus. Second one, anterior funiculus. Next one, a pair of lateral lateral funiculi. Lateral funiculi. So they are the 4 funiculi. So the white part contain a 4 funiculi. One is the anterior funiculi. So they are the anterior funiculi. Second one posterior funiculi, anterior funiculi, posterior funiculi, and 2 lateral funiculi. A pair of lateral funiculi. So totally 4 funiculi. So they are the spinal cord. Next one, the spinal cord, they contain a receiving from the sensory impulse and sending from the brain. Next one, the motor impulse receiving from the brain to spinal cord to sensory areas. So they are the spinal cord is called the middleman of the body. Middleman. Spinal cord is also called as a middleman. So this middleman means, so they are the receiving from the impulse and sending from the brain. So sensory impulse to impulse receiving from the sensory area to spinal cord. Next one, the spinal cord sending from the brain. Next one, the brain sending the motor impulses receiving from the spinal cord. That spinal cord sending to the sensory areas. So the spinal cord is also called as middleman of the middleman. Spinal cord is called as middleman because of, so they are the receiving and sending. Afferent impulse and efferent impulse, receiving and sending of the impulse. So they are the spinal cord is the middleman. Once revised, so the spinal cord inner side contain a H shape or butterfly shaped grey color is presenting. H shape or butterfly shaped grey color is presenting. So these grey color part, they formed by the cell bodies, dendrites, unmyelinated axons and neuroglial cells. So they formation of H shape. They contain a 2 horns. One is the ventral horn, another one is the dorsal horn. Ventral horn and dorsal horn. Next one, so the spinal cord divided into left and right parts. So one is the fissure. So they are the posterior sulcus and anterior fissure. Anterior fissure and posterior sulcus. The spinal cord divided into left and right parts. Next one, so the inner side contain a central canal. The central canal is surrounded by the ependymal epithelium. Surrounded by the ependymal epithelium. So the central canal is continued to the brain 4th ventricle. Brain contain a 4th ventricle. That 4th ventricle is continued to the central canal. Central canal. Next one. So they contain a white part. The white part is formed by the bundles of unmyelinated axons. So the white part contain a 4 funiculi. 4 funiculus. One is the posterior funiculus, anterior funiculus, and 2 lateral funiculi. Next one, so the spinal cord is called as middleman because of sensory impulse are receiving and sent to the brain. The brain sending the motor impulse receiving from the brain to spinal cord sending to the sensory areas. So they are the spinal cord.